Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Kutztown University and our 50 seasons of field hockey celebration. This is the oldest women's intercollegiate sport here at Kutztown University. And how about our field hockey team today? Great job, guys. My name is Matt Santos. I'm Vice President of University Relations and Athletics and your MC for this afternoon's program. Some of you may remember me as the Sports Information Director back in the 90s and Director of Athletic Advancement. Today we celebrate our 50th season of field hockey at KU and honor our coaches and alumni that have made KU field hockey into what it is today. We'd like to take this time to recognize some VIPs in attendance with us today. First, Kutztown University President, Dr. Kenneth S. Hawkinson, and his wife, Anne-Marie Hayes Hawkinson. Dr. Hawkinson's son, Dr. Javon DeGleese Hawkinson, and his wife, Lindsay Hawkinson. Dr. Ann Zayitz, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. And Mr. Alex Ojika, Executive Director of the Kutztown University Foundation. Alex. Dr. Jason Lanter, our Faculty Athletic Representative. Now, although this is the 50th season of intercollegiate field hockey at Kutztown University, we would be remiss if we did not pay homage to the entire history of the sport at our great institution. So I'm going to do that in a very brief and pointed fashion. We can trace the roots of field hockey back more than 100 years here at KU. While the men participated in intercollegiate athletics as early as the 1890s, the women of then Keystone State Normal School received their athletic experiences through physical education courses. The cornerstone for the current Risley Hall Gymnasium was placed in 1907, making it the second building at the normal school outside of Old Main, and emphasizing the growth and importance of physical education at Keystone. One of the photos in our history display, currently in the Old Main concourse, depicts the Keystone women practicing field hockey just after 1910. It was a normal part of their gym classes. In 1920, the principals of the normal schools developed a uniform system of controls for athletics encompassing 9 men's and 9 women's sports. However, women's sports would mostly be contested between the various class levels within the institution for many years to come. Field hockey teams for the junior and senior classes at Kutztown first appear in our Keystonia yearbook in 1927 under the leadership of Irene Horner, who was here for 1 year as instructor of physical education for girls. That would be our last year as Keystone State Normal School. It was 1928 when the face of women's athletics at the newly named Kutztown State Teachers College would change forever, when future KU Hall of Famer Minerva Stern was hired to take over physical education for women. Ms. Stern formed the Women's Athletic Association, increased athletic opportunities for women, and formed Tau Kappa, a campus honorary society composed of the most outstanding female athletes at Kutztown. During World War II, it was Ms. Stern who took a Kutztown select team to nearby colleges for what would be the first ever women's intercollegiate competition. And historians will note that during that time there were no men's athletics because the men were participating in World War II. Ms. Stern passed away from ovarian cancer shortly after her retirement in 1952. However, her memory lived on through her alumni for many years. Ms. Stern's legacy still lives on through a plaque that is dedicated to her, which is currently located on the left wall as you enter the doors between Keystone Hall and Opaque Fieldhouse. It was dedicated in 1959 and was actually hanging unseen behind a door in Risley Hall, and we relocated to its current location several years ago in honor of our women's athletics history. I would certainly encourage our all-time team members, Coach Schuing, and our current players to be aware of Ms. Stern's contributions as a pioneer in women's athletics at Kutztown and take a look at her plaque the next time you are across the street. Ms. Stern's legacy was carried on by KU Athletic Hall of Famer Ruth Mathias, who served as physical education professor from 1952 to 67. Ms. Mathias coached all women's sports that were offered, including field hockey, basketball, volleyball, and tennis, expanded play dates against other area colleges, and continued the effort with Tau Kappa until her retirement. That led us to the doorstep of field hockey becoming the first women's intercollegiate team at the then Kutztown State College in 1969, coached by Dr. Carol Teskey, who was here with us earlier today. Is Carol still here? She was pretty interesting to talk to. She said that when they started intercollegiate sports here, that they played on the field right here behind the current field hockey stadium and were only able to practice two days a week because there was a men's intramural team that practiced at the time. So even then they were fighting a lot of battles. So to begin our program today, as we get to the 50-year celebration, I'm pleased to introduce at this time Kutztown University President, Dr. Kenneth S. Hawkinson.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Matt. Good afternoon, excuse me, and welcome. We are so proud and excited to welcome you all back to campus for this historic occasion, our 50th season of Kutztown University field hockey. It has been great to see former friends, teammates, and coaches coming back together to reminisce and celebrate their time as a Golden Bear. You know, these milestones are very, very important because they give us an opportunity to pause and to reflect on all the wondrous things that have happened in the past, and then to put our feet on the foundations and the giants of the past and project ourselves into the future. Field hockey, as Matt said, is the oldest women's sport on campus, and we're just delighted to see such a big turnout today. Field hockey was also a first for me. When I arrived as president in 2015, the first athletic event that Anne-Marie and I attended that fall was a field hockey game. Marcy, you may remember, where's Marcy? You remember when we came by and we met your family, and your future family, I think, as well at that time. I remember seeing Coach Schuling and her family and was very impressed by her and by all the student athletes. Now, for many of you, I'm sure that this is the first time back to Kutztown since your college days. I hope that during your visit, you'll take some time to walk around our beautiful campus and experience the many updates that we have made. One of our additions is this building right here, the Student Recreation Center, which opened about 10 years ago with a recently remodeled fitness area to serve our entire student body. On North Campus, we have renovated and expanded Schaefer Auditorium and Sheridan Art Building, added the state-of-the-art Academic Forum classroom building with a food court that includes a Chick-fil-A, which I have yet to eat at, but we're going to do it one day, and renovated the Cub Cafe dining area and full-service Starbucks in the Student Union Building. Be sure to visit the Alumni Plaza across the street from Old Main. It features a beautiful waterfall and fountain and a scenic light display after dark. Here on the south side of campus, you'll notice many other changes, including recent renovations of the South Dining Hall, which now features 24/7 all-you-can-eat dining. 24/7, all you can eat. We have brand new turf in our field hockey stadium. I think the football team can use it from time to time as well. And this past summer, we renovated Rothermel Hall for the first time since it opened in 1961. You'll see much construction on campus in the coming years. A total renovation of DFRAN, which hosts our College of Business. There'll be a new Lytle Hall, which hosts many of the departments in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, a new visitors and admission center, and a full renovation of Keystone Hall. We're also planning major improvements to our athletic facilities and fields. Our field hockey program has brought the university many points of pride over the years, from competing for a national championship to ranking #1 in the country in their grade point average. #1 in the entire country in their grade point average. The dedication of this group of student athletes has shown sets a great example for our entire university community. Now, as I go into the next part of my remarks, I would like to invite our Provost and Academic Vice President, Dr. Ann Zayitz, to join me. As you may recall, from back in 2015, we celebrated the team's National GPA Award with billboards throughout the region congratulating the team. In honor of their tremendous and historical accomplishment, I would like to present a printed copy of that billboard to Coach Schuing and our current seniors and any alumni who were also on the team at that time. We're going to present this billboard to you right now. Would any players whose picture is on the billboard please come forward? We're going to do another photograph. Come on forward. That's yours.
Can I take that home?
To my knowledge, it's the only time that we've put a athletic team on a billboard. Not just one, several throughout this region. I would like to thank our alumni relations staff for putting on such a great event to bring us all together to celebrate 50 great years of field hockey. I would also be remiss if I didn't mention our great coaches, all of whom were here today. Coach Teske. Well, Coach Teske, she started the program back in 1969 and laid the groundwork for the future. Coach Hill, your leadership led to great success in the 1970s and your KU Hall of Fame induction in 2016. Coach Wessner, 33 years at KU is remarkable. I commend your commitment and dedication to your student athletes and our university. The majority of our alumni with us today played under your guidance, and we are all excited to see you'll be inducted into our Hall of Fame in your first year eligible. And Coach Schuing, since that first game, I've continued to witness firsthand the tremendous quality of your program and your student athletes during my time at KU. I couldn't be prouder of the direction we are heading and the wonderful job, the incredible engagement that you have with your students and with the program. Lastly, as we look back and celebrate 50 great years of KU field hockey, I know the future looks very bright for our current Golden Bears. We have our current team, of course, with us here today, who have set the bar high for success both on the field and in the classroom. We have a nationally ranked program, have set school records for our number of scholar athletes, and remain one of the top teams in PSAC. My congratulations to all of our all-time team members that will be recognized today. Thanks once again for coming, and have a great day.
Thank you, Dr. Hawkinson. At this time, I'd like to welcome our current field hockey coach, Marcy Schuing.
Okay, first I just want to say thank you all so much for coming to this wonderful event that Kutztown has put on to honor the history of our field hockey program. I'd especially like to thank the 50 Years of Field Hockey Committee. It was led by Brian Salvador, and they went above and beyond all expectations that I had for this day, and it just has been a wonderful day. I would also like to take this time to congratulate the all-decade and all-time teams that have been recognized. What an amazing group of women athletes and role models. You guys have shaped this program and set the standard for our players now and for many years to come. Kutztown is such a special place, and the field hockey program is so rich with tradition and success. It is my great honor to be the field hockey coach here at KU, especially after following in the footsteps of Betty Wessner. She led this program for 33 years. Now, please don't hold this against me, but I went to Mansfield and to Millersville, Mansfield for my undergrad and Millersville for my master's degree. I would have come to Kutztown, but I wasn't good enough, and Betty did not recruit me. So, but I would have come. I would have, if I was good enough. Just kidding. Okay. But going to Mansfield and Millersville, I was very familiar with Kutztown and the PSAC, and this doesn't happen a lot in sports, but I never once heard a negative thing about the Kutztown field hockey program, and that's pretty hard to do. We've always, KU's always been competitive, and to be that consistent for 33 years under her leadership, there's a lot to be said for that. Being a head coach in the PSAC is it's the most competitive conference in the nation, and you always have to be on your A game. So for anybody that might not understand it, to have that type of consistency over such a long period is just remarkable. Thank you, Betty, for setting such a high standard, and for being such an amazing coach to all your players and everybody at KU. All the other coaches love you, and it's just, it was hard shoes to fill, I'm not gonna lie. But she did such an amazing job. I just want to take this final time to say thank you. First to the players. The greatest compliment that I can give you guys is that it is such an honor for me, for my two daughters, to watch you guys and to see what good role models you are. And I want them to be around you because you bring such a positive experience to them and what it should look like to be a student athlete at a school. And I just thank you all for that. To the former coaches, the players, the alumni, the fans, and the families, none of this would have been anything without any of you and your constant support for our program. So I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for 50 years of amazing memories, and go Bears.
Coach Ewing is actually being very humble. She was a Division II All-Star at Mansfield and a Presidential Scholar athlete. So she is a great role model for all of our student athletes. Thank you, Coach Ewing. Now, without further ado, it is time to recognize our all-time team members. We recognized our alumni by decade during today's game, including those whom were named to the all-decade teams. And now we would like to turn our attention to our most select group. From these all-decade teams, a selection committee of Golden Bear field hockey historical experts has selected our all-time Kutztown University field hockey team. As your name is called, we ask that you please come forward to accept your award from President Hawkinson, pause for a picture, and take a seat at the front of the room. Let's begin with the forwards. From Shoemakersville, Justine Bear. Playing from 1998 to 2001, Justine was a PSAC Rookie of the Year and All-PSAC First Teamer. She was named an All-American 3 times and won the Player of the Year award in the Lehigh Valley in 2002, Justine Bear. From Kutztown, Anna Boehm. Anna played from 2012 to 2015 and was a 3-time All-PSAC performer and the PSAC Athlete of the Year in 2015. She was a 2-time All-American, an Academic All-American, and received the Player of the Year award in the Lehigh Valley in 2016, Anna Boehm. From Douglasville, Barb Bergstresser. Barb played from 1982 to 85 and was a 2-time All-PSAC First Team member. She was also a 4-time PAIAW All-Star and was inducted into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame in 2006, Barb Bergstresser. A 2013 inductee into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame from Elizabethtown, Shannon Daggett. Shannon played from 1994 to 97 and was a 3-time All-PSAC selection. She was a 3-time All-American and won the 1994 Rookie of the Year award in the PSAC, Shannon Daggett. A 2017 inductee into the Kutztown University Athletics Hall of Fame from Toms River, New Jersey, Colleen Healy. Kelly played from 2005 to 08 and was a four-time All-PSAC selection and PSAC Rookie of the Year in 2005, a four-time All-American. She was named the 2009 Field Hockey Player of the Year in the Lehigh Valley, an academic All-American, and holds the school record for assists in a season and career, Colleen Healy. A 1989 inductee into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame from Dryville, Denise Long. Denise played from 1980 to 83. She was named first team All-PSAC in 1983 and was a three-time PAIAW All-Star, Denise Long. A 1998 inductee into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame from Reading, Lisa Marella. Lisa played from 1986 to 89 and was a two-time All-American and All-Region selection, being named to the PSAC's first team in 1988. She was tabbed as the Athlete of the Year in the Lehigh Valley in 1989 and holds the school record for both points and goals in a career, Lisa Marella. A 2010 inductee into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame from Warminster, Jen Wolfgang. Jen played from 1994 to 97 and was the Division II National Player of the Year in 1997. She was a two-time All-American, three-time All-PSAC selection, and the PSAC Player of the Year in 1997, Jen Wolfgang. Now, let's welcome our all-time midfielders. From Hatfield, Laura Belfatti. Laura played from 2003 to 06. She was a three-time All-PSAC selection and an All-American in 2006. She was also named the Player of the Year in the Lehigh Valley in 2007. Laura Belfatti. A 1993 inductee into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame, Barbara Francis. Barbara played from 1975 to 78 and was named the team's MVP during the 1978 season, Barbara Francis. A 2002 inductee into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame from Dryville, Donna Long. Donna played from 1982 to 85. She was a two-time All-PSAC first-team performer and a three-time PAIAW All-Star, Donna Long. From York, Erin Reynolds. Erin played from 2010 to 13. She was a four-time All-PSAC selection and the 2010 PSAC Rookie of the Year. A two-time All-American, she earned the 2014 Player of the Year Award in the Lehigh Valley, Erin Reynolds. Now let's introduce our defenders from Toms River, New Jersey, Colleen Healy. Colleen played from 2002 to 05. She was a two-time All-American and first-team All-PSAC selection in 2005, Colleen Healy. A 2001 inductee into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame from Reading, Karen Messner. Karen played from 1974 to 77 and was named the team's MVP in 1977, Karen Messner. A 1999 inductee into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame from Schnecksville, Shane Mosley. Shane played from 1988 to 91. She was a two-time All-PSAC and All-Region selection and was named an All-American in 1990. She was also named the Player of the Year in the Lehigh Valley in 1991, Shane Mosley. Unable to join us as the current head field hockey coach at Arcadia University, which is in action today from Philadelphia, Erin Livingston. Erin played from 2001 to 04. She was a two-time All-American and PSAC first-team selection. She also holds the school record for defensive saves in a career with 23. Now let's meet our goalkeepers. A 1994 inductee into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame from Douglasville, Gwen Kerr. Gwen played from 1985 to 88. She was a two-time All-PSAC performer and an All-American in 1988. She was the PSAC's Athlete of the Year in 1988 and holds the school record for both shutouts and goals against average. Gwen Kerr. And from Rochelle Park, New Jersey, Leanne Stocky. Leanne played from 1992 to 95. She was a two-time All-PSAC selection and an All-American in 1995. She was honored as Player of the Year in the Lehigh Valley in 1995 and 1996, holds a school record for career saves, and will be inducted into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame next Saturday, Leanne Stocky. Let's have a final round of applause for our all-time KU field hockey team.
First, I would like to thank the Kutztown University Athletic Department, the Development Office, and the 50th Anniversary Committee for all their work in putting this great event together. Since the day I left Kutztown, my teammates and I have talked about coming back to watch a game and get together with our families. That was 21 years ago. I am very grateful for this event, that it affords an opportunity to reminisce with alumni, teammates, and coaches, and to share the memories we created years ago. It's truly amazing to see the numerous changes that have occurred in the program and the facilities. I can well remember former players returning to watch our games when I played. They would often comment about how lucky we were, and how different it was when they played. Today, I have a complete understanding of those feelings. We all have our own stories, but KU field hockey is one chapter in a book that we all share. Although there were differences, we are all linked by common bonds, teammates, and traditions that have left an indelible mark within us. Speaking of indelible mark, when I read that Kutztown field hockey beat Bloomsburg this year, I was overcome with a wave of redemption. The 4 years... Twice. The 4 years I played here, we never beat Bloomsburg, and that includes a national championship, which clearly I haven't gotten over yet.
So you might all be asking what I'm doing up here, and I'm asking the same question, just here to ruin another good picture. But like many of you, I come today as a fan. I never played in a national championship game. Every time I come to Kutztown, my children remind me that I am not enshrined in any Hall of Fame either. But I come as a fan to celebrate this amazing group of athletes, to see a Golden Bear game and a win in a PSAC game against Slippery Rock in a hard-fought battle, and to celebrate what the future holds too. For us as a family, we have become part of this experience that Jen has had as a player. We've become part of a Kutztown field hockey family that goes 50 years long. And that's been a special thing for our family. And some ways that you can all embrace that, and that we've embraced it too, is with generosity. For us, giving back to the field hockey program and supporting a great group of current athletes is a way that we've embraced that and that we've shown our kids a way to support this program and to support women athletes at a great institution like Kutztown. It's been a special part of our experience and our story in how we've taken on Kutztown field hockey as a family. And hopefully a national championship sometime there in the future. No pressure, Coach.
Sorry, As part of being at this celebration today, you've all contributed to the field hockey program. Mike and I tell our children all the time they need to remember where they came from and to support each part of their past. Being a KU field hockey player is a significant part of our past, and we want that legacy to continue for future student athletes. I am so thankful for the education that I received here at Kutztown and the opportunity to play a sport that I love. Without support for the program, future players may be impacted and not have the same opportunities that we did. One of the ways to keep our legacy alive is to provide financial support for the field hockey program. The first ever crowdfunding campaign is in progress right now. If we could all share the team's story through the social media network, we could reach our former teammates, friends, and family who are not here today. We are hoping to reach a minimum of 50 donors in 2 weeks to commemorate 50 seasons for field hockey and ensure the team's success for 50 more. As athletes, we set goals, but we always aim higher. Let's embrace the same spirit in supporting our KU Golden Bears. The web address is www.ku.com/supportfh. It is our hope that by supporting our program, future student athletes will have the opportunity to celebrate their successes just as we are today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen, and thanks to her husband, Mike Rush. That was great. One statistic, that 1997 team that went to the national championship, they are one of 2 NCAA teams in school history that have actually made a national championship game, the other being softball in 2010, I believe. So one of 2, that 1997 team. So great job to Jen and Coach Wessner for that accomplishment. All right, this year we are proud to welcome 7 new members into our Athletics Hall of Fame, including 2 field hockey honorees. The 2 will go in with their classmates next Saturday, October 27th, at our 40th Annual Hall of Fame ceremony. Next Saturday, we will induct KU all-time team player Leanne Stocky. While today, Leanne, you want to move over here? Okay. I saw Leanne block a lot of shots back in the day. Today, we induct the 33-year head coach who has guided the majority of alumni here with us today. Betty G. Wessner, head coach at KU from 1980 to 2012 and one of the winningest field hockey coaches in NCAA Division II history, is the longest tenured head coach in Kutztown athletics history. She won 344 games for 5th all-time in Division II history. She was a 5-time PSAC Coach of the Year and was the National Coach of the Year in that 1997 season when Kutztown advanced to the NCAA Division II championship game, the first ever in school history for any sport. She was inducted into the Berks County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame in 2014. We have 2 testimonials presenting Coach Wessner for induction. First, from Betty's first assistant coach and friend of 40 years, Jocelyn Beck. Jocelyn says, when I reflect on Betty Wessner's coaching career and Betty as a person, the first thing that comes to mind is her overwhelming care and concern for her players, fellow coaches, administrators, and all of those around her. Betty is someone that we all depend on and continue to depend on whenever we need a friend, no matter the time of day or night. If you needed something from Betty, be it help with something or just an ear to listen to, she was someone you could call. Through the years, I have always admired Betty's upbeat personality, despite the numerous personal hardships she has endured. If you didn't know what was going on in her personal life, you could never tell the suffering she endured. Betty has always maintained a positive outlook on life in situations that would have caused many others to crumble. She served as an example for her players to always look at the positive things going on and not to get bogged down in the trials of her life. Her unending resolve and outlook on life have had an immeasurable impact on me, and I'm sure all who have known her. As a coach, Betty always maintained the highest level of professionalism and integrity. She has an outstanding record of winning, but none of those wins were accomplished by bending or breaking rules. Betty's driving goal was to make sure she was a role model for her players and to always do the right thing. She always understood the big picture of success and was being measured by the quality of her players and teams, not necessarily just the wins and losses. In being a role model for her teams and the entire university, Betty exhibited a tireless work ethic. She worked harder than anyone will ever know to put her players in the best possible position to be successful. Over the years, she worked with a variety of skill levels and personal backgrounds. She treated everyone with dignity and understanding and did everything possible to push them beyond their comfort zone to become the players and individuals that she knew they were capable of being. She developed numerous award-winning student athletes, but more importantly, she developed positive citizens with strong academic credentials able to successfully navigate life once they left KU. That is and always will be her lasting legacy. Everyone who knows Betty Wesner has been impacted by her legacy, and we are better people for having her in our lives. End quote. Jocelyn Beck. Our second testimonial presenting Coach Wesner for induction is her daughter, Sarah. Quote from Sarah, "I learned respect, dignity, class, strength, perseverance to stand up for what's right, and love, to name a few, from my mom and my field hockey coach. Not many kids can say they played for their mom in college and smile. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't a walk in the park. It was extra hours practicing outside of our normal practice to earn that spot. Actually, I remember calling my brother my first week of my first preseason camp and saying, 'Josh, you have to come get me. I can't do this.' I received the response of, 'Are you kidding me? We won't be able to go home.' In our family, we don't quit, even when it gets tough. I sadly learned firsthand during my brother's brain injury and cancer and my father's sudden death. My mom never gave up, even when the rest of us wanted to. She is by far the strongest person I know. My second story is, of course, during preseason camp. What player can forget preseason camp? One day my alarm didn't go off and my poor freshman roommate and I had to sprint to our time running test and run it right away. Before anyone would notice, we were almost late. I never ran so fast in my life. Actually, I think I may have thrown up after. Coach was someone you wanted to play hard for, and she made you feel honored to be part of such a great team, win or lose. I also had the honor of being able to coach with my mother, be her assistant, have her be mine. There's some funny stories there, and coach next to and even share an office with her. It was always a pleasure learning from her and with her. I could not be the person I am today if it wasn't for her guidance and support in good times and bad. I could go on and on about what I learned from my mom and coach, and anyone who played for her knows what I mean, like the fact she still reminds me to this day to say thank you. It is truly an honor to be your daughter. I love you, of course, thank you." End quote. Sarah Wesner. Here to assist President Hawkinson with the presentation of Coach Wesner's induction this afternoon into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame is her friend and former colleague, Jocelyn Beck, and her daughter, Sarah. Let's welcome into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame, Coach Betty G. Wesner.
Wow. I see 33 years of my life before my eyes. This has been some day. I am so pleased to see so many of you here. I want to thank Kutztown University, and especially Carol Teskey, and I guess she's not here. I was going to have her stand up. Then Assistant Director of Athletics, for hiring me in 1980 to become the third coach of KU history of field hockey, and especially to the 50 Years Committee for seeing the need to honor all of us today. As I look back, yes, Gwenny, I still can remember, to these years, and I compare it to a most recently book that I read by Jodi Picoult, Small, Great Things. Every small event and every small memory that I spent with you made my career and relationships to all of you great. Having my wonderful daughter, Sarah, as a member of the team that went to the national championship, and eventually being an assistant her last semester in residency. Her husband, Samuel Greer. Sam, can you stand up? Philadelphia firefighter, engine 45, ladder 15. Mother of Riley, age 11. Riley, you need to stand up. Coach Riley, where are you? Stand up. There she is, all the way in the back. Gracie, age 9. Where are you, Gracie? There she is. Amanda, age 3. And Ian Joshua, you need to stand up, buddy. Age 6. Sarah's presently employed by the Department of Human Services for the City of Philadelphia and supervising 5 social workers for the Family Empowerment Services under the Youth Services Program. I love you more, Sarah. Stand up. I'd like to have everybody stand up who has ever helped me coach, and believe me, it's been a lot of you guys. Gwenny, stand up. Jen, all of you guys. Look at this. I mean, it's just amazing. There's Trista. Thank you. This award is for you as well. I'd also like to thank my family, my mother and father, for attending many of the games before and after Sarah had finished her eligibility. My sisters and their families, Sissy Sharon and her husband Jim Oswald, you guys are here. Stand up. Where are you? Where are they? Sissy, where are you? Oh, there she is. And Jim, you know, I don't miss. I'm glad that I don't miss your heckling about not being able to beat Bloomsburg. So I'm glad of that. But thank you guys for your support and putting up with my absences from many of our family functions. Meeting my long-term best friend, Jocelyn Beck. Gosh, we've been through a lot together. First colleague, really, that took time to take me in and greet me here at the university. By the way, she won a conference championship in lacrosse here while coaching. And returning to help me whenever I needed an assistant. I could always talk you into helping. But as a side note, she'd always mention to me she never wanted to go out and practice or play in the rain. Never did she, though, get on her hands and knees. So, oh, she tried. She really did. Those indoor coaches, I tell you. Teaching some of our now health and wellness department, I taught some classes, filling in for a deceased colleague. Having Molly Chilcote's dad, Dr. Wayne Senev, believe it or not, is one of my students in a self-defense class. Now he and his wife, Erin, are my Bethany Beach neighbors, as well as Marissa's parents. I think Marissa's here, Patty and Larry Greiner, who really helped me find my beach house. Traveling to foreign countries, I think some of you all remember that. The NCAA allows you to travel every 4 years. We actually saw the Queen of England in a motorcade, Big Ben, Westminster Abbey. We traveled to Germany, Holland, Belgium, with its chocolates and its lace, the city of Amsterdam, wooden shoes, windmills, the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, where most of us were sick from the bad weather. We probably should have never gone out, but anyway, we did. You know, seen the Opera House in Australia, visiting the Gold Coast, kangaroos that we thought were going to be jumping out in front of us and never did until we went to the preserve and found them there. And of course, the koala bears that pooped on everyone. Compliance officer. I was afforded the opportunity to work with NRAD, attending several NCA conventions that were held in some of the biggest cities in our country. Fortunate enough to have my husband Doug join me on several of these experiences. And I think the most important with having that job was getting to know the people working in the various departments here on campus, our admissions office, our financial aid office, and our registrar's office. My involvement with the coaches union. I was instrumental in initiating the first union contract for our state system coaches, which I can say I'm very, very proud of. My frequent texts from Gwenny, constantly thinking of me and reminding me that she's my favorite, constant. Keeping me up to date with her family as well as making me laugh by her Facebook posts. Traveled all the way from Florida just to be here. Athena and her husband, David Waligerski. You guys are here, Athena. Wal, are you still here? Can you guys stand up, please? Wally, I want to add, is a KU football graduate as well. You've embraced my Westner family as theirs, making sure that I'm always doing okay and not alone, especially on holidays. You are a national ranked official in lacrosse and field hockey. The Hershey family, Bonnie and Richard. Richard for making the boards used for our indoor tournaments, which generated funds to supplement our program by running these indoor tournaments. I think, Marcy, you're still using those boards, which is great. My part-time job that I have now at OVO, Ole Valley Organics, working for Barb and Mike Dietrich. Mike also is a KU alum, a soccer grad, and a retired Army general. She is now bossing me around, still has not had me run suicides, thank goodness. And I never knew that there are so many different kinds of red beets. There's golden beets, red beets, Tioga beets. There's probably even more that I'm not aware of. Attending your weddings, now your baptisms on your children, their graduations, as well as their weddings. What a small, great honor. I want to leave you with this, and I quote. It's a quote from Chuck Swindoll from Hyman Seafood, something that I found on one of my travels, of course, while attending a wedding with my husband. It's all about attitude. The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than success, than what other people think or say or do. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding attitude we embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we do is play on the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitudes. Go, Lady Bears.
To close our program, I am pleased to introduce our Director of Athletics at Kutztown University, Greg Bamberger.
Thank you, Matt. What a great day to celebrate a great sport, a unique sport, unique to our part of the country, with unique rules, unique equipment. I kid Marcy constantly about the one-sided stick. Maybe one of these days they'll change that, but probably not. It's just a great day to celebrate 50 years of a unique game at Kutztown. I'm sure that most of you are not aware that I'm the son of the goalie from Chestnut Hill College from the early 50s and the husband of a center midfielder who played for Adele Boyd at Ursinus College in the early 1980s. It was Adele at Ursinus, and we'll leave it at that. So I've been around the game, or I say the game has been around me. As a teenager growing up in Southeast PA in the mid-'70s, we were all about the Broad Street Bullies, ice hockey's Philadelphia Flyers. And one of our favorite activities was to play street hockey. One great thing about having a mom who played field hockey is that me and my brothers always played goalie using our mother's field hockey goalie pads. So we're the only ones with goalie pads that our mom gave to us, which our friends couldn't understand. Congratulations to our all-time team. Congratulations to our all-time coaches, Carol, Mary, Betty, and Marcy. And a big congratulations to you, Betty, on your Hall of Fame induction. There are a number of people I'd like to thank for making this event a reality, but I'd especially like to thank KU Director of Communications, Brian Salvador, Assistant to the AD, Haley Harnden, and Cheryl Lord with the KU Foundation. Thank you for your hard work in making this happen. But more importantly, I want to thank all of you who have ever played this unique sport. This day would not have been possible without your commitment to field hockey. Congratulations again to all our honorees. Thank you for coming out today on this beautiful day and celebrating this great, unique sport. Thank you very much.